Hello, everybody. I'm still getting stuff ready. Just give me a second. Can you hear me okay? I'm going to be a little echoey, I think, because I am in my new office. Echo mic. Well, we're going to have to just deal with it because I've got a big old empty office. All right, let me turn this thing off. There it is. There's what you can see of my office. You can see the walls, some of the desk, and so forth. Eventually I'll have more stuff in here and it'll sound less echoey, but I'm not going to fucking put up dumb old pieces of foam on the walls. Make this place look like shit. Eventually there will be blinds over here, and it won't be God behind us. And I'll also have blinds over here. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I have to say I'm pretty happy to be in an office. It has been, how long has it been? I think it's been about close to 3 years since I've had my own office. And the office that I had before was pretty out of the way, and I didn't use it as much because having babies and such requires you to help out. So there's a lot of calling me downstairs and finally giving up and being like, okay, I'll just work from a laptop on a standing desk in the living room. And then it became like a permanent thing because we had moved due to fires, and we lived in a tiny little place that had no extra room, and I had no office but a little desk in the living room with a baby and a then 5-year-old. So it was kind of a wackadoo, and I had no time to do anything. But now I have this dedicated setup. You can't see it, but I've got a monitor in front of me. I've got a monitor here. They're really big. They're nice. They're stuck to the wall. I can move them around as I want. I've also got a giant monitor above them, which is hooked up to a Blu-ray player, which I can also hook up to the computer if I want, but I mostly have it hooked up to a Blu-ray player because I have stacks of movies that I haven't watched, and I put them on and I absorb them while I'm working. And yeah, I can give you a tour. My mic sounds robotic. I wonder why. Let me fuck. How's that sound? Does that sound better? Let's see if it's set to anything weird. No, it's all right. I sound like a robot, just normally. I sound like there's nothing weird with my mic. I just sound like a robot. Well, I know there's going to be a bit of echo. That's part of living in a hollow room. Let's just dig into the box, and I can talk more about everything else. What do you think? What do you think? Who's buzzing me? Who's buzzing me? Oh, someone's here. Okay. So, you ready to see? So this isn't the final version of the shirt. The next shirt box features art by Sony Shock. He is a major artist on Megenics. Really great background artist. Really, really good overall. You've seen his work in promo cards. Did the promo art for Eden for the Kickstarter. Did the promo art for another Eden it's the current convention promo. And then for this shirt. And you've actually seen this shirt because it was one of the previews. This shirt is This shirt is the #1 voted shirt. So like when I didn't have them all done, but I had like eight or nine shirts that I had previews, and I wanted to see the order in which I should stagger them out, and the general appeal of them, just in case. And this was the #1 shirt that people like the most in general. And here it is. It's the Angelic Isaac shirt. This isn't the final version. This is a little too orange for me. The wings should look more white. I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. It's on the sticker. The shirt is great. This isn't a white shirt. It's actually like I think it's a warm light gray. The sticker looks like this. You can kind of see the difference. The wings are more white. The flowers are white. The cat skeleton is more white. There's lots of really cool details in this. I'll put it up. I have this. Doink. There it is. You can see Sony's work. The details are all in there. There's lots of cool little details. One of my favorite shirts. One of everybody's favorite shirt. And this is going to be... Javon says it's technically called sand. The color of the shirt is sand. But Pantone wise, I think it's warm gray. Whatever. This is the first shirt to have an extra that's not a card. Do you guys want to see the extra first, or do you want to see the cards? What do you think? God, my hair looks extra strange with this light cutting most of it away. Let's do... I realize that the latency, I don't think I can figure the latency to this, so I'm not seeing your guys' thingies, your texts as quickly as I should have, because I'm an idiot. Whatever, we'll do cards. Okay, so the general theme for this box is angelic or holy. So all the cards will share that. So card 1, Eden Soul. It is a treasure card. All these cards are treasure cards. Eden Souls enters play deactivated. When you activate it, it destroys itself. And if it does, you look at the top 7 cards of the treasure deck, and you gain 2 of them. Put the rest on the bottom of the deck in a random order. So it stalls by a turn, and then the next turn, once you activate it, it becomes 2 of the best treasures in the top 7 cards of the treasure deck. It's really good. Super good. Super good. And I think you'll like it. Next one. Next one is Seraphim. It's a familiar. It's a passive item, and it allows you to gain +1 to the dice roll of your first, third, and fifth attack roll each turn. So every other attack roll, you get a bonus to it. This is like 50-50 on that. And it's a pretty solid bonus. It's a nice little homing shot that shoots out the first, third, and fifth attack roll of the turn. And finally, we've got the Stairway. Each time you declare a purchase. So when you go to purchase an item from the shop, which you could also purchase from the top deck, before choosing what you purchase, you may look at the top 7 cards of the treasure deck, put them back in any order. So essentially, you're digging 7 deep whenever you buy from the top deck, choosing the best one to put on top, and then choosing to purchase it. You can also rig things in a way that puts a cursed item on the next step, and then you can lie to the person next to you and be like, I put something good up there for you. Or you could be like, hey, person who's next, pay me and I'll put something good up there after the, whatever else. What do you want? And you can even give them information on what cards are there, or you can lie. That's how you play this game. Lying and bargaining. So that's the Stairway. It's a cool card. There's a lot of ways to use all of these cards. And there's a little bit of a 7 theme because, 7 is the theme. And those are the 3 cards. And finally, in the box, we've got our first bonus that's not a card. This was the instant that Javon said, hey, we can do these. I'm like, oh my God, we got to do this. And this is what it is. It's a Jesus juiced koozie. Jesus juice. It's actually a little more purple than it's coming off in the video, but it is Jesus juice, and there's the little cross, and it says it again on the other side. This is my Dr. Zevia. This is a delicious stevia drink, but that's not what we're selling here. We're selling Jesus juice. Turn anything you drink into Jesus juice, and have a blessed evening, and taste his blood. Isn't that cool? Let me pop it off here. So this is what it looks like when it's all flat and folded, and it pops out like that. Drink goes in there. Blunk, blunk, blunk. Jesus juice. And it's not final yet, but here's a good idea of what you're getting for the postcard or the print. This is actually a postcard, which is why I said that. Yours won't be a postcard. This is just the temporary one. And this will look all shiny down here and embossed as they do. And again, for those of you who didn't see it before, this is the sticker. The sticker's really nice. It's actually transparent on the out. It's not white on the outside. Let's see if I can get it off here. I cut my nails. Talk amongst yourselves. God, how does that guy from The Hills Have Eyes do this? There it is. So as you can see, it is actually transparent. So you stick it on something and it looks quite nice. Did I stick it on this? Let's stick it on something. Stick it on my water bottle. Here it is. Looking good. Look at it. Smooth as silk. And on the other side, talking about. It's a pretty big sticker. It's a very nice quality sticker too. Very, very nice. Okay. Now before I go into questions and nonsense and all that goodness, I think I should show. Javon said, "Hey, I'm sending you some stuff. You want to show it on stream?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do." One I got a while ago, and I don't think I ever showed it. So I've got the final tokens for 4 Souls for the last Kickstarter for Requiem. We did tokens, and these went through a tremendous amount of revisions. I didn't expect there to be so many revisions, but I was very anal about it, and I wanted them to be perfect. I wanted them to be the perfect weight. I wanted it to feel nice when you jiggle them around in your hand, as we all do. And here is a heart. Here is a heart. Let me turn it sideways. So one of the issues was it was flat on one side. It was hard to pick up off the table. So we made it rounded on both sides, but we kept it small enough so it felt more like it was sitting like a counter on something. And that's it. it doesn't look this clear. It still looks white because I have white behind it, but it's more red on the table. And then my favorite, the teardrop. Once again, like this. There. What do you think? My third eye is... Damn it. Yeah, this is how we do it. I should have just... Might as well project the whole stream on my forehead. There we go. You can see the dimension there. They are perfectly weighted. They feel really nice. And I can't wait to jingle them all around in my hands. What can you use them for? You can use them for keeping track of the life of an enemy, keeping track of the life of yourself, keeping, and then the little tier tokens are more like, if anything says put a token, remove a token, these are the tokens. I also have the final cards. I don't know if this is the final box. I think it might be. Here is the second edition base game. I have all the cards in here from Requiem as well as the base game, and some other stuff too. So when I show you cards from this, you're not necessarily getting this. It's because I combined them all together like a fool. But I want to be able to show you these. So these cards aren't in the base game. This is the Requiem expansion cards, and I can fan out some cards for you here. Look at that. There's Flash Isaac. I'll show you the cool ones. The Capricious. Why is it so shitty? There it is. Can you see that? I'll just do this again. That's how you do it. Ooh, these cards look so nice. I'm not showing them to you though. We've got all the bonus sins here. Look at that. They came out really, really, really nice. I think nicer than the initial printing. We've also got, so that's the base game. There's also a really cool thing that we added kind of last minute, and this was, I don't know who to credit this for. I'll credit Yugi. one of the folks on board said we should have key terms. So there are these little key terms, key term cards. Come on, focus. I know you want it. Yeah, whatever. It's key terms. So for newer players, it'll let you know, like, what does heal mean? What does indomitable mean? What does level up, level down? What does pay life mean? Recharge, roll, trinket, activate player, active player, ambush, counters, curse, deactivate, destroy, discard, eternal. It's a cheat sheet, both sides. It's a really nice little thing, especially for new players to have. It makes it easier to demo the game. What else we got here? Is this this is the Rebalance Pack right here. It shows you, so these are the cards that we edited, and it tells you the cards that the expansions, the first edition, second edition, and then all the expansions, 4 Souls Plus expansions, and how to add them when they come in this little pack. These are the edited cards. They're mostly starting items. In fact, they are all starting items except for the one, which he got a little buff, which is at the end of your turn, recharge up to 1 character. Okay. Do I have anything else to show? Or should I just answer your questions? Oh, I'll show this. Hey, look, guys. You requested it, and we did it. It only took 5,000 people. Here's a little rule book. It's a nice little actual how to play. This isn't just because so in the first edition just had a fold out piece of paper with 2 sides, and that was it. That was the rules. And now we've got so you can scan the QR code and get the info there. Look at how nice this looks. I mean, you won't be able to see it because I gotta be able to fix the fucking zoom on this thing. Maybe you can see that. So look at that. It's not half-assed at all. It's an actual thing. It goes, how many pages is it? A lot. It goes pretty deep on this stuff. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. About 24 pages, probably about 20 pages, 20 to 22 pages of goodness. It's a nice little pamphlet, and it'll explain everything. These are second edition pennies. The wrapping is a little different than first edition. I think the pennies are identical though. Let's open it. There you go. Them's the coins. For those of you who don't have the game already, there is a cent sign on one side and a pentacle on the other, or pentagram, depending on how you do it. And then the base game also comes with 2 dice. They're basic. But I think they're a little higher quality than the first edition dice. Let's see if I can do this. Moment of truth, folk. Oh! I can do it. And a D8. If I could help do it too. Well, you know what a D8 looks like. It looks like this. One of these days I'll get greasy enough to stick any dice to my forehead. So that's a little bit of the base game, second edition, as well as a few Requiem expansion cards. Next stream I'll grab some more stuff that has been finalized and show it off. Or you guys can suggest some stuff. So I will say that the new shirt, Sony's shirt, the Angelic Isaac shirt, is live right now. I will tweet it once I'm off of here. If you're subscribed, you will automatically get the shirt next month. If you're not subscribed, you should subscribe. Or you can buy the shirt individually. Shipping is a lot cheaper now. Overall, the cost has gone down a good amount. And if you haven't already, I mean, I'm assuming the majority of you guys are subscribers and or purchasers, but spread the word because it would be nice to make even more of these things, especially with this. How cool is this when you're playing Isaac and you're like, I'm so thirsty, and then you take a sip of the Jesus juice and then suddenly Godhead appears in real life in front of you. There's nothing to do with the game. Okay. Let's do questions. Let's first do 10 minutes of questions that are just tied to the stuff I showed you. T-shirt stuff, Four Souls stuff. Ask questions about that, and I'll answer those questions. Sound good? And then we can just go into the bullshit. The pennies don't taste like pennies. I have tasted one. We don't recommend you taste them. It is like plastic. Hard plastic. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. When will you be giving out spicy merch for your favorite unboxing videos? So I believe that we have contacted the first batch, the first winner. We haven't announced what the spicy, not really merch, it's a card. I will say it's a very spicy card that only people who have either helped with the campaign in some way specifically, or have gone above and beyond with what crazy shit they're doing. We're saving a bunch of these specifically for those people that have fan interaction, and we haven't printed them yet, but we have a list of people, and I have contacted. I think the first month for unboxing, we crowned a winner last stream, and then there were a bunch of honorable mentions, and those people will also be getting those. But I think the winner got a full subscription. Okay. How do the tainted pennies look? I don't have any in my office, but I do have some. They look dirty. They look like dirty versions of those. They look cooler. They look like dirty versions of those pennies. Is the annual one-time purchase bundle still available? Yes. So if you have missed the first couple shirts, there is a way for you to still get everything plus the secret 13th shirt for free. In order to do so, you will need in the next 2 months to sign up for the annual subscription, which would mean you pay one lump sum and you get everything, and then we ship everything to you at the very end of the whole campaign. That is still available and will be available for the next 2 months, I believe. What is the D8 for? The D8 is to keep track of life of enemies that have high life totals. The highest life total of any enemy is 8. So it's easy to tick down so you know how much damage is on the monster until the end of turn. Javon is saying that we probably will extend the annual through to the end of the year just to make sure people can kind of get in on it. Because a lot of people are saying that it's not enough time to save up enough money to do so, and I guess that is a factor. So we're gonna try to keep it going a little bit longer. Will there be any chance to get the new Eden promo at a Spanish event or online? There may be. So currently it's for conventions only. Any presence that Four Souls has at a convention, there will be those promos, and we will be giving them out to people who test play the game and or interact with the booth in some specific way, depending on who's running the booth. I don't believe we will be giving it out online. I do have my own copies, and I will be putting them in mystery boxes when those go out. For those of you who picked up the mystery box tier of the Kickstarter, you're almost guaranteed to get one of those. But yeah, it's pretty exclusive to conventions, and I don't think we have any plan for Spain, but I could be wrong. You never know. It'll be around for a little while though. Okay. Do we still get the box of the base game in the big boy box, or are they separated? They are separate. You do not get the base game box if you buy the big boy box. The contents of the boxes are just put inside the big box. How do the room cards look? Sure, let's do it. They're in here. They look nice. I actually like the backs. Okay. Here are some room cards. So the room deck sideways. For those of you who don't know, the room deck is a extra advanced way to play. They add a lot of modifiers to the game. You put them sideways on the table. At the beginning of the game, you flip one upside down, and it has a global effect, which you can't read because I need to somehow focus my shit. It says, so this is Dice Room. It's a Dice Room 4. When this enters play, each player rerolls each of their items. So once this hits the board, boom, any non-eternal item gets rerolled. gets re-rolled into a new item. And then it says at the end of the turn, discard this card. So that's one example of a room card. But another example of a room card would be Shell Game. Shell Game. Shell Game becomes active. It's active to any active player. And you can interact with it. So Shell Game says that you can pay 3 cents and roll. On a roll of 3, gain 1 cent, 4, gain loot 1, 5, gain 5 cents, 6, gain a treasure card, and then discard this. When it's discarded, you replace it with another card. Example, Devil Beggar. Or any player who defeats a creature at the end of their turn can choose to discard the room card and put a new card in. I think they're pretty cool. Definitely complicates the game. I wouldn't recommend it for the first couple plays, especially with new players. Don't make things more complicated than they need to be for new players, for sure. What's the extra for the Horseman box? The extra for the Horseman box was was the short fuse. Was the 4th of July promo card. How and where can I buy the expansions for 4 souls? You can't. They have been, so the base game, the gold box, the base game might still be available. The expansions, the gold box, have been sold out for a long time, like years, maybe 2 years. And that's why they're so incredibly hard to get, which is one of the reasons why we did the Kickstarter, because so many people don't have them. Once the Kickstarter ships in November, shortly after that, once everybody from the Kickstarter gets their stuff, we will put them on sale again. So 2nd edition versions of the expansion, Requiem, 2nd edition base game will all kind of go on sale on our website once everybody gets their stuff. Is there anything in the box that we won't be able to stick to our heads? Can't stick the roll of pennies to your head. And as you saw, the D8's hard to stick to your head. I think that's it. How much is the boxing of Isaac? You can get a shirt for $35. The box is $35, or you can subscribe and they're $30 each. How have I been feeling lately? I've been feeling good. This isn't really tied to the first 10 minutes that I'm talking about, but I will tell you, ever since having this office and finally getting to work in this office, it has been a wondrous life. Peach is in summer camp. It's a day camp, but she goes there for a large chunk of time, and she has been so happy. She really loves all the kids there, and she loves the freedom, and she's really living life, and which makes the whole house happier. Minnie she's closing in at 2, so she's getting into the terrible 2s, which has been more of a challenge, and especially for Danielle and sleeping. But I can say overall, for me, it's been a good time. I've been having a good time, even though we all actually got like a fucking gnarly stomach flu a few weeks ago, which was horrific. I'll tell you right now, like, it's not so much getting the stomach flu, but having 2 young kids shitting and barfing at the same time all over the house. That's the hard part. It's fucking, and then being sick and then trying to figure that out. Awful. Wouldn't recommend. Don't have kids if you're just looking forward to the puking and diarrhea, because it's harder than you'd think. Okay. So, 2nd edition comes with the base game plus Requiem. No. The 2nd edition is just the 2nd edition. Sorry about the confusion. I put Requiem in my 2nd edition box to conserve space because I have a lot of things and I'm trying to parse them down. Requiem is its own thing. The base game is its own thing. They're separate. Will the big box... Will it be in big box stores like Target? Okay, so I don't have an answer for that yet. Those of you may be aware that the base game, or a variation of the base game of the 1st edition, was sold at Target for a few years. and then it went out of circulation. I don't know if we'll get another deal with them. I don't know what the deal there is. It's a possibility, but nothing's planned right now. So if anything does happen, it wouldn't happen for many, many months to a year plus after actually it releasing. So I wouldn't hold your breath on that. If you're like holding out to buy it at Target, I would just get it from us, because we also, get more money. Why does she keep calling me? Is there going to be more characters or boss figures soon? Let's show that. So excuse my Spelunky figures. These aren't part of what you guys what options you guys have. Here is the full collection currently of all of the figurines. First edition, second edition, or first wave, I don't know what you want to call them. First batch. This is all of them, including this guy, the Tainted Isaac, which is the most rare of all of them because it was a limited edition only for the first couple, I don't remember how long. At the beginning of the Kickstarter, first day too, if you got in, you could get that for free. And then you got the more recent dudes down lower. And again, the Spelunky figurines are mine. You can't have them. You can't buy them from us. There are figures missing that we have not done. We have not done Lazarus. We have not done Samson. Who else? Lazarus, Samson, Bethany, Jacob, Esau. Those are the 5 that we have not done. I would love to do them. In fact, I feel like I'm obligated to do so, right? For the full collection. When that'll happen, I'm not sure. Things are a bit busy for a little while. There's a possibility that we could just do them outside of a Kickstarter and see how that goes. But I don't know. I don't know what the answer for that is. But yes, so those 5. There's another one. There's the bad boy, the big bad angel. There's Angelic Isaac. This one is another very limited edition one because it was tied to a specific tier, and that was the only way to get it. So there's not that many going to be in circulation. This one's mine. It's very large. But yes, I would love to do a Monstro. I would love to do a Bloat. I would love to do a Duke of Flies. Those are my top 3 bosses figurine wise that I really want to do. And then those 5 characters, and then maybe close the book on the series of figurines. Okay. One more question on this, and then we'll just go into just random questions. And if I didn't answer your question, then you can always ask it again. The question here is a question it's on my mind daily. Is a Chris Chan promo still on the table to be released at an event or something? I'm going to say yes. So for those of you who don't know, Chris Chan did a promo card for the last Kickstarter. Chris was one of the top people on my list as far as who I would love. Oh my God, this would be a dream if this happened. And then she got arrested for allegedly having sex with her mother, and has been in prison for the past year plus, but possibly could be exonerated, possibly could be released, etc., etc. Now, what to do with that? Who knows? So I had to cut it from the Kickstarter because I didn't want it to become this cascade of me supporting an alleged elder rapist. So I said, okay, we're going to back away from that and just say that's not happening and we'll replace it. But it's still high on my list. I would love to be able to release it in some way. And I know that there are a lot of fans out there who want the same. So I think it'll really depend on what happens with Chris, where they go, what the conclusion of the whole thing is. And regardless, as long as it's not attached to a Kickstarter with a bunch of promo cards that are tied to artists and video games that don't want to be associated with an alleged elder rapist, incestuously, I don't know how you, well, yeah. Yep. Then we can try again. Because I do want it. I also want the damn art too. I'm hoping when they get out of prison, they can send me what I paid for. But yeah, I'm not a fan of what Chris allegedly did, but I am a huge fan of their art. I don't know what you want to say, but I will say this. I am an owner of a limited edition genuine Sonichu medallion. Number 235 of 300. Signed. So yes, I am a big fan. Sucks that things had to end in the way that they did. And again, I would love to do that promo. And if I don't, I will just figure out a way to make it for myself. I don't know. Things are so weird nowadays. It's such a strange situation. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? A lot of artists, especially crazy ones, especially crazy people who are also artists, tend to do things that are pretty not okay. Yeah. What are you going to do? Nobody saw that coming. I mean, maybe some people claim that they did, but nobody saw that coming. Anywho, we've got 15, 20 minutes. You can ask me any questions about anything that I haven't answered, anything that you've asked already that I missed. And we can kind of just hang out a little bit and shoot the shit. If there's something specific you want to see in my office, I got a lot of stuff everywhere, so I don't know. Will there be a character in the monthly subscription? No, I think that would be incredibly unfair, seeing as this is a very limited and exclusive club. There are only a few thousand of you. It would be mega crappy to do. It also wouldn't be possible because in order to manufacture, so design, produce, manufacture, ship, and ship out figurines from China at this point, you're talking about like a year. So it's just like, what are you gonna do? Can't do that. So we got to go with what we have. So we're kind of looking at local, quick to produce, quick customization stuff, kind of like this. Those are some of the oddball promos. Okay. What was the Bumbo update about? So for those of you who don't know, The Legend of Bumbo released on all current gen consoles. So the Xbox One X, or I don't know what the fuck it's called. I don't own it. PS5 and Switch all got Bumbo. There will be a retail version coming end of year or next year. And because that was updated, it had to be updated in order to do it. We took the update and put it up on PC. So it's just a quality of life update, a few extras here and there, lots of bug fixes and minor improvements, performance improvements, general good quality of life update stuff that the console version had that I felt would be unfair to not give to PC owners. So that's what the update was. Okay, we have to. It wouldn't be a stream unless I answered one of Gish's questions. The most obscure fan, the fan of the most obscure fan of the most obscure things that I've done, asks the question that is on everybody's mind. Can we expect other Badlands creatures to return in Mugenics, such as Weltling, or other Pishais or Dumplings? For those of you who don't know, one of the first video game series or worlds that I did was called the Badlands. The most popular Badlands games I've done were probably Triachnid and Coil. Serious Pishai was a game I worked on with Tom Fulp and then Calder Bradford for many years. It came out, it wasn't really where I wanted it to be, but the characters were pretty cool. And I also did Dumpling and Weltling, which were two of my early games, and they all kind of took place in this world that I also was writing a comic for. Gish, I guess, is somewhat also in the Badlands as well, a little bit. And I stopped in favor of moving on to something that felt more current. I always think of the Badlands as a very far in the past of whatever world I'm working in. So it's some sort of primitive world, or maybe super future, where everything has been killed and then stuff kind of regrows in. But I haven't touched any Badlands stuff in a very long time. And then I'm working on a desert biome for one of the chapters in Mugenics, and there was cactuses. So it felt like, hey, this is the most appropriate time for me to bring back Pishai, who was kind of my number one dude back in the day, and have him as an enemy. And Pishais are just kind of notorious assholes who, when they kill stuff or get blood on them, they become insane and go on killing sprees. And that's pretty much what they are in Mugenics as well. Now, as far as plans of bringing other Badlands stuff, there are currently no plans. There may be some nods here and there, but I think overall you're going to see a lot of nods to, much like Isaac, to my past work. You're going to see bits and pieces of things. Lots of things that look similar and or referencing Isaac enemies and some of my old stuff as well. Let's see. Why does the room wallpaper look like the set of a low-budget Slenderman video? That's not wallpaper, bro. That is paint. I had an artist come in. So I know a local artist who does distressed-looking paintings. They look like run-down, cracking, decayed things. And my whole office is painted in that theme with lots of dripping. Man, I'm going to try to show you guys. Okay, so here's the ceiling. Can you see this? So we've got that's an actual AC duct coming out of the wall. And there's, things are rotting. So, and all the wood is burnt. So you can see that beam over there. It's hard to see close, but the trim is live edge burnt wood. There's actual carved cracks in the walls. Everything's attached with corroded, decaying pipes with lots of drippies and good stuff here. So this is like my shelf. I have multiple shelves that you can't really see because this is high as it goes. There's some tapeworm, cool stuff. This is my setup here. This kind of wraps around. And you can kind of see I'm working on filling up one of the curios back there, and it gets too dark, but I have a pinball machine back there, and there's more office that keeps going back. The ground is chem stained to also look fucked up and distressed. And my office, that's a reflection. My office table is meant to look like copper, and this is also copper that hasn't been fully distressed yet. I also have a vault door that they're working on in the back because I actually have a secret door into my office that goes through a shelf in the wall. Oh yeah, don't forget this guy. Look at that. Cool, huh? I love my office. And I chose it to look like this because I like it. It makes me feel inspired, I guess, to kind of have art living in the walls around me. And then when my mom comes in, she goes like this. She goes, the mold. And I said, that's paint. Mom, what's wrong with you? It smells bad. It's like it's rotting. And I said, no, that's paint. You're smelling paint. Have I seen the new David Cronenberg movie? I didn't even know there was a David Cronenberg. I didn't know there was a new David Cronenberg movie, so no, I didn't. I didn't see that, but I might. Let's see. What would the Doom Warp Zone cards have been like? I wanted to do a Kako Demon. I wanted to do a BFG. And I wanted to do a possibly the Doom guy as a playable character. And I would have got it too if it wasn't for those mainstream large companies and their inability to take risks. It's close. Is it weird knowing you and Northern Lion kind of blew each other up, not meaning to? What does that mean? When did... I wasn't... What? Me and Northern Lion blew each other up, not meaning to. Blew each other up like... Tell me what you mean. Like, sent people to each other? Give me some more context on that. I'm worried that I did something bad and I don't know it. Can you tell us about some cut For Souls content that you never mentioned before, like missing art or something? There were a few artists that I commissioned whose portfolio work was stunning. And then when they submitted the art, it was very obvious that the portfolio work was not theirs. And I had to say, I'm sorry, but we can't use this. I'm not going to say who it was, but it was 2 people. And I was pretty surprised because it's like they messaged me and they showed me the portfolio and I'm like, wow, this is really good stuff. All right, draw this. And then they couldn't do it. It wasn't even close. As far as other stuff, let's see. I mean, there's just like the cameo stuff that I couldn't get that I was dreaming of. But the Doom one was kind of the biggest one that I really wanted to do that I thought might be possible, but it wasn't. And there was one game, and I won't say if it's a video game or not a video game. There's one game or IP, I would say, that I was pretty surprised said no, straight out no, like in a very dismissive and firm way without any explanation, because I thought that they were kind of associated. And so I thought that was a little weird. Let's see. Where? The funny thing about my office too is that possibly what spawned this idea was this. So this area used to be a wine cellar, and we actually had to rebuild the wine cellar because it was leaking and rotting, and the ceiling was infested with rats. We had to pull that whole thing down, and part of me liked the way the rotting looked, but you can't live in that. You can't live in that. Oh, here's a good question from Gish. Will Blast Miner get a Steam release? So I will say, me and Alex Austin. So Alex Austin programmed and co-designed Gish. Also worked on Blast Miner with me. We worked on a few other games that kind of didn't go anywhere, like No Quarter, Hitler's Must Die, a few bits in Gish 2. And him and I kind of parted ways for many years, and then a few years ago we started hanging out and playing Magic together. He comes over on the weekends, and he did bring up like a month ago, like, hey, what do you think about re-releasing Blast Miner because we re-released Gish. And I'm like, so Blast Miner was this kind of my most awkward release. It came out as a completely different game and it didn't do well. And we remade it into a different game and then re-released it without changing its name. And it kind of had that taintedness to it. So it was just a weird hodgepodge that eventually became a completely different game. So first it was this like physics-based Tetris game with explosions, like crazy stuff. And that was the primary thing. And then people didn't like it and they didn't understand how to play it. And it got review bombed back then. And it was like, oh shit. And it was like, oh wait, I can repurpose this physics engine and all these pieces and we can turn it into a more laid back puzzle game. And then we packed them together, put that out. People primarily played the puzzle game. We got rid of the Tetris game, re-released that just as its thing. We actually landed a few overseas deals and it did pretty well in like Germany and stuff like that. It actually released physically in Fries. And it's a physics-based puzzle game and it's pretty good. But it was so tainted by the initial release that it was kind of depressing to continue to work on, and we kind of just shelved it and sold it for a few years off of our website, and that was it. And it kind of died. It was the one game of mine that was actually pretty okay, but it was just like, fuck it. Let's just move on and do something different. Diving back into it, I think it's better than I remember. I actually think it's pretty promising. It's not at all what you would expect from me, which is probably another reason why people didn't like it initially. But we will be releasing it eventually on Steam. We'll probably release it for like $5 and it'll get some quality of life updates, widescreen, maybe a few more puzzles. And I think it'll be pretty cool. And I think it'll be a nice addition, a nice missing piece added to, my portfolio on Steam. And I think you guys will like it. Can we get my cat Mugenics? So the way Mugenics works is everything is randomly generated. So the cats always look different. High probability that enough pieces will have been made in order to make your cat actually in Mugenics. You won't be able to configure them, but you'll be able to breed them. So let's say your cat had Siamese colors and really large ears and big paws. You could potentially find all of those elements in stray cats and then selectively breed them together until you find the one that looks most like your cat. And then you can name it your cat's name, and then it can die and you could get really depressed. So that's as close as we're going to get. Where are we? I've got like 5 minutes left here. Will there be another Kickstarter? I think there will be one more Kickstarter. At this point, I don't know exactly when. The earliest would probably be the end of next year. But the end of next year is also kind of might be the crunch for Mugenics. So if that's the case, then I won't be able to do it, and I'll have to push it back till after Mugenics releases, which would be in another half a year after that. So I'm not sure, but I do know that when I do another Kickstarter, we'll of course re-release all the Four Souls stuff. Probably do another little Four Souls expansion, finish up all the characters. Like it'll be a bookend for the most part. It's like let's finish all the things that we started. A final expansion, final Four Souls figurine series, all the 5 guys that I mentioned with some other stuff, an art book, maybe a strategy guide, more integration with the game, maybe release some sort of I don't know, garbage pail kid like stickers. I don't know, whatever you guys want essentially, but it would be more of a hodgepodge of chaotic Isaac themed extravagant nutsoid craziness, and we would just figure it out as we go. That would be the final Kickstarter, and that would be definitely Four Souls themed. Let's see. Who's inside the confessionals? Yeah, that is the real question. Who is inside those confessionals? I think you're gonna have to figure that out. Will the physical edition of Bumbo have anything besides the game in it? Yes. We initially talked about doing some sort of cardboard cutout thing, kind of like, remember that like weird Nintendo thing that people did where they had like a bunch of cardboard stuff and you made peripherals with it, something like that. But then it turned out to not be as feasible. So we're looking into something like color forms, which I think would be really cute, a really cute little addition. And I think it would be pretty on theme to also do alt art Four Souls Bumbo promo cards and then maybe like an extra one, something like that. Will the art book Kickstarter be different from this final one you eventually put in? So the art book Kickstarter would be part of that. The art book would be part of the final Kickstarter. So it'd be like multiple things. Anybody figure out what this blowing up Northern Lion thing question was about? I still don't know exactly what it meant, and I can't find any response from who said it. I'm scrolling through and trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Who's the little man in the window? That's Hugo. I did kidnap him. I actually have fucking shitloads of them. I have 8 of them in here alone. I have 8 Hugos in here. So Hugo is a fucking weird toy from the 70s. His name was Hugo, Man of 1,000 Faces. And he came with a bunch of extra pieces you put on his face and configure him to look like different things. And I got him as a teenager. I got him at the flea market for super cheap. I thought he was really funny. And me and a friend of mine decided to make a movie about him where he murdered us. And sadly, I think that is lost to time. But I loved him so much, and he became such an iconic thing to me that once I got money, I decided I was going to start collecting him. And it was pretty funny because on eBay, when I started, he was like $25, $30, and I would just start buying him. And I bought every single one of them. I think I have 20 something of them. And I just thought it was funny to have such weird looking things all around the house. And I created this market scarcity and demand, and it was all me, and I kept buying them, and the price kept going up. And I noticed it went from like 25, 35, and then I think they're like 100 plus now, all because I just bought a shitload of them and made it seem like people were really interested in them. So I hold the market on Hugos, and I've got a lot of them around the house. All right, one more question. Okay, so someone is explaining the blow up thing. He thinks that the comment was that Northern Lion got big playing Isaac, so it got him a lot of viewership that also then got eyes on my work. Yeah, that's fucking yeah. It is a big factor. So Northern Lion wasn't the first big one to really push Isaac, but he was the most dedicated by far, as you know. And probably the most entertaining to watch because he's really good at riffing on a lot of Isaac stuff. Yeah, I think it was a great coincidence. It's always nice to kind of have somebody campaign for your work. I think he kind of got trapped in it. I feel a little bad because he became the Isaac guy, and I know for a fact that he doesn't want to be that, And no one wants to just be this one-trick pony that is known for this one thing that you play and do all the time. So I'm sure it's more of a curse to him and more of a blessing to me. But I think, yeah, it's a cool little exchange that we've had. And he's a really nice guy. And it's nice to see him doing things other than playing Isaac. And finally, what shirt am I wearing? Yeah. I'm wearing a Ghoulies 2 shirt. Those of you who haven't seen it should. I believe that Ghoulies 2 is the better of the Ghoulies movies. It is very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. It has a great ending. The characters are great. It's way more funny and campy than the original. And it's one of my favorite kind of 80s horror films. Kind of embodies what I like. Highly recommend you check it out. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm going to get off here and I'm going to start working. I've been working on, like I said, desert enemies and mugenics. And that's what I'm going to do for the next couple hours. And I will see you guys in a month when we unveil the next shirt. Please spread the word on the shirt stuff. I will tweet about it when I'm off here. Please be on the lookout for possible Blast Miner updates. And I'll just see you guys next time. I hope you had fun. I know I did. I'm gonna play some pinball. See ya.